We're here today and we're going to make our banana cream pie. Really simple, easy recipe. I'm sure even you can handle it. To start, we're going to take 1 cup of milk and we're going to bring it to a boil over here. And then in the mixing bowl, we need to add 4 whole yolks. And a cup of sugar. And 1/3 cup of flour goes into there as well. We want to give this a really good mix. It should be really nice and dry together here. So once you've got this kind of mixed up, the egg yolks are kind of all mashed around. We want our cream to start to boil, and it's starting to steam a little bit. And make sure that you don't boil the milk over. All right, and then we're gonna slowly add in some of the milk, about half to start with. And the reason why we're adding the milk in slowly is because you don't want to scramble your eggs. So you've got your hot liquid and you've got your raw eggs. And if you added all of your milk at one time, you're going to curdle your eggs, kind of like scrambled eggs. And once you've got it together, you're going to put it back onto that heat. We're going to bring it back up to a boil now that everything has been added. Essentially, you're making pudding from scratch. Really simple, basic start. This could be done a day or 2 in advance, so if you're someone that likes to plan things out ahead of time, the custard part can definitely be made ahead of time and fill the pie shell just a little bit later. Some other ingredients that we have over here are going to be some vanilla extract. You can use a vanilla bean if you want, or the extract works just fine. You can also throw in a little bit of banana extract if you have that around the kitchen. A little bit of cinnamon is going to go in here, and then also a few tablespoons of butter. All right, so now that we are up to a boil, we can go ahead, take it off the heat or turn off the heat, add the vanilla extract, about a tablespoon's worth or so. Got some ground cinnamon here, about a teaspoon or so, a nice solid pinch. And then last but not least, some chunks of butter go into here. And pretty much what you've got is a nice rich cinnamon vanilla pudding. And once the butter's all melted in, you want to make sure it's whisked together very well. And then pop it in the fridge. You want to let it chill for a couple hours. Overnight's just fine as well. All right, now that our pudding is cooled, we're ready to go ahead and assemble the pie. So we've got our pudding, and we've got 2 cups of whipped cream here. We're going to add just a scoop, about a half a cup or so, maybe a little more, of whipped cream into the pudding, just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. Yep, you certainly could use Cool Whip for this application. I personally like the full fat heavy cream, but Cool Whip will work just as fine. If you're using heavy cream, it's just heavy whipping cream into the mixing bowl. Whip it up nice to firm peaks. All right, so now that you've got your pudding with a little bit of whipped cream, we've got some bananas that need to go in here. And then I also have a pre-made pie shell here. Just a regular pie dough rolled out, blind bake it. So you want to line it with some parchment paper and then put some baking beans on top of it. And then go ahead and just cook it for about 10-15 minutes, just till it turns golden brown. And what I've got are 2 bananas. You want them to be ripe, but not overly ripe for this application. If you're making banana bread, something like that, you want them really nice and mushy. But for the actual banana pie, you want them to be slightly firm. And I'm just thinly slicing them. You could rub the Banana with a little bit of lemon juice if you're worried about it turning brown. But if you're going to enjoy the pie within the first day or two, you don't have to worry about that at all. All right. So into the pudding mixture goes the slices of banana. I'm just going to fold them, kind of mash them up maybe a little bit, spread them around in there. All right, and then take that pre-made pie crust, fill the bottom of it with that wonderful pudding mixture. And then last but not least, that leftover whipped cream, or if it's Cool Whip you're using, we're going to go ahead and smear it across the top. Pie is best enjoyed the day that you make it or the next day. But something about a pie, once it sits in the fridge for a couple days, it gets a little soggy and that crust isn't as crispy as the first day. But there you go, a banana cream pie.